Boom. Hello, traders. Welcome. Welcome once again. Good afternoon, good evening to some of you, good morning to some of you. Okay, first of all, where are you coming from and what time is it where you are? Where are you coming from, guys? And if you're at a very odd time, tell me what time what time it is there. All right, wow, look at that international audience there. I love it. Whoa, Croatia, late. Israel, late. Okay. Spain, it's late. Sao Paulo, okay. 10 p.m. in Germany. Yeah, 22. All right. Where is it in the morning right now? 5 a.m. Japan. Pedro, good morning. Australia, 6 a.m. Good morning. All right. Okay. Yeah, 3 p.m. is about morning in Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, listen, guys, let me jump right into things here. Um, I suggest that you get some notes, a little notebook out or something like that if you can, to jot anything down that hits you in a big way, an aha moment, something that you want to reference and make sure that you don't forget, you lodge it into your system. Even if you never really reference what you've written down again, the act of writing it down does take it a step further than mentally trying to hold on to it. So that's a little life hack, the act of actually writing it down. And I've just found that typing it into my iPhone or something like that does not have the same effect psychologically and actually by the old school way of literally making a note with a pen and paper. That perhaps is just speaking to my age, but I do both, but I found that there is a big difference. All right, there's a big difference. With a nice pen, says Cello. That's right. All right, so guys, what you're looking at is a 2-minute chart of Chevron, CVX. This is today's activity. And as you can see, traders, look, we have the 200 period moving average here. We have the 20 period moving average there. We've got yesterday's late day price data here. And so what we're really talking about is that the stocks fabulous 4 zone is basically there. Now, we all know that when you open above the Fab 4, the best trades will tend to be to the upside as long as you don't open too far above, right? That's when it goes reverse. We know that if you open below the odds, the best trades will tend to be to the downside. Your best flow will tend to be to the downside. The thing is that the closer you are to the Fab 4, the better, actually. So the closer you are, the better. Okay? Okay? This is okay too, but this is better. Okay? And this starts to get iffy because you're so far above. Pedro, this is your first one. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome to all the new babies. All right. So your best location is just above your key moving averages and yesterday's late day price data off the open. That makes sense? You got this so far? The closer you are, the better. All right. Up a little bit is that's okay. Don't think that that's not okay. It's just the closer you are, the better. The further you get away, the more it starts to become, the odds start to change. The odds starts to wane down that you're going to get solid flow. All right. Okay. Now, there were two. Chevron is an oil stock, and there are two main oil stocks that the people who trade oil stocks look at. One is Chevron, and the other is Exxon. Now, I want you, let's grab the 200 here, the 20, the late day price data, and let's draw a box around those things. And here we have our fabulous 4 zone. And do you see a slight difference here between your Chevron and your Exxon? Do you see it? Let me see if I can. No, if I can. That's right. So I would say this is a bit closer, right? Exxon's a bit closer. So based on what I'm teaching you, if you had to make a choice, I would do the Exxon just based on a closer proximity to the fabulous 4 or to the main moving averages in the performer price data. All right. Now, look at what happens to each one off of the open. So both have a strong first bar. Okay, let's do that again. Make it a little neater. Both have a pullback after that strong bar. Do you see the difference? Of course you do. Chevron dropped harder because it's higher statistically. Okay? So why the higher you are it's not guaranteed, but why is it that the higher you open, the stronger the pullback will tend to be statistically? Does anybody know? That's right, Dorina. That's right, Shin. Profit taking. Because you have to think about this. If you were holding if you were holding these Chevron from the day before, and this morning you get this beautiful gift to the upside, the bigger that gift is, the bigger that free money is right from the first 2 minutes of the trading day, the bigger that gift is, the more the urge to take profits. The smaller it is, the more the urge to see if this can be a nice profitable day. There's no early urge to take now. All right. Does this make sense? A few of you let me know. The higher you open, the greater the urge for traders from yesterday to sell and take some profits. The heavier they will take profits. The lower, the lighter they will take profits. Okay, good job. So Exxon is our winner. Now, this is looking at two oil stocks, right? You can do this with any stocks. So you can, at the open, say, look, I'm just going to zero in. I've got 10 stocks. I'm going to zero in this morning. And they're all throughout there. These 10 stocks are in different industries. I'm going to just zero in on the ones that are showing me strength. Here's your strength. Closer, the closest ones to the FAB4. And then I'm going to narrow my list down to 2 or 3. And boom, there you go. These are my 2 to 3 candidates off the open. Sometimes having too much choice, right? Sometimes having too much choice is not good. So we need to narrow down at the open. We need to quickly filter down to the small handful that we potentially are going to strike. Okay? Now some of you are saying this explains BABA this morning. It does explain BABA this morning. Let me give, because BABA was a short this morning, not a long, despite its position. Let me get this out of the way. Second. So if we go to BABA, boom, there you are. So here is your FAB4. You're not opening in the best location. You're opening way up here. And the first bar is solid red. Now remember, to gain some clarity, guys, you can always eliminate the tails in your mind. So watch this. Let me open this up a little bit. You can always eliminate the tails, right? So watch this, guys. So let's eliminate the tails. Now, that should look rather clear for you. Stop, short, and that's as close as you're going to get. Sorry, guys. That's as close as you're going to get to free money. All right. Make sense? Okay. In the real estate market, it has been said that you make money 3 ways. Do you know what those 3 ways are in the real estate market? For those of you who are familiar with the real estate market? Anybody know? That's right. Location, location, location. Well, it's the same in the stock market off the open. That is what I teach you. Location, location, location. So this location would tell you that longs have low odds, but shorts have high odds because of how high it opened. Imagine if you owned the stock here, you held the stock overnight, and you wake up to this instant gift. It can be millions of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars to thousands of dollars to hundreds of dollars. All of the different types of players have enjoyed this who have held from yesterday. And then it starts to, the gift starts to go away, starts to get less. This increases the urge. Let me lock my gift in now. All right. You can always eliminate the tails to gain clarity because sometimes people allow the tails to um, they miss the essence of the bar because of the tails. They let the tails invade what's really going on. This is just for clarity. Is that solid, nice, very decent red? Yes. And that's all the confirmation you need. All right. But Oliver, what about the tails? No, there aren't tails now. We'll see how it cleans things up. That's a short to the downside, period. All right. Now, I in my lessons with you, I talk a lot about percentages, but one in particular I talk about 90% of the time. What percentage is that? 50%. So I want you to take this fat bar, anything sizable, we always want to cut it in half, right? Anything sizable, we want to cut it in half. So we're going to take this bar and you're going to cut that bar in half, right? Do it. It's like magic. We bounce back up 50% into power to the downside, and boom, there is what we call whale complete. Does it always seem clear, crystal clear when I'm with you and not so crystal clear when I'm not with you? Yes? Okay, so good. I can keep my job then. I'm still needed. Thank you. Thank you, my babies. Thank you. Good job. Well, that's the absolutely dead cat bounce, Alejandro. That's the that's one of the keys that you don't need me anymore. It's not clearer to you anymore. I would still like you to hang around, maybe help me out, but that's the key, that you don't need me anymore. And there is no mentor worth his salt that does not want his mentorees to become better than him. I take pride in that, actually. So it's not something I'm afraid of. Put me out of business. Yeah, do it. I'm okay with that. Put me out of business. Okay. Um, so let's go back to Chevron here. That's the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is how to judge what is likely to have the best flow and scenario based on position, how to narrow down based on that location. Also want to share with you, the higher you open, the greater the odds of the drop being sharp and not necessarily mild. Again, this is just probability. It's not certainty. You'll always be able to show um, exceptions to this. But it's highly probable that the pullback's going to be sharper. Now, I had a trader, all right, this morning who took this play, all right, bought into that power bar. Stop was under the elephant bar, and she stopped out. Okay. Now, I was talking about this earlier today with another group. One of the key things here, and this is one of your cards, you can deploy a 2-bar stop rule. 2-bar stop rule. And the 2-bar stop rule, as long as it doesn't violate your maximum stop rule, would have saved this trade. Okay? So the 2-bar stop rule would require a second bar to drop below. So this is bar 1, and it would require a second red bar to drop lower than the first one. Boom! Now you're out. That's right, Alexander. So the 2-bar stop rule I found saves about 12% of your stop outs. Okay? Now, for some people, the 2-bar stop rule is not good. That's why I don't make it mandatory. Some traders don't do well with the 2-bar stop rule, and some traders actually do. And so you have to figure out whether it's better to have the 2-bar stop rule or it's better to have the 1-bar stop rule and be ready to get back in if you get the 1-bar phenomenon. So you got the 1-bar phenomenon here, see? It was the 1-bar phenomenon, and boom, green takes out red again. You get right back in. Now it's like trade number 2 or try number 2. Stop under your reason, and there you are. Boom, boom, boom. So you can use the 2-bar stop rule, but if you decide not to, you have to be willing to apply a rule-based re-entry, a rule-based re-entry line item in your trading plan. You get back in on the next color change, especially if it's a very strong color change. Tell me you understand this. Got it? Awesome. Beautiful. Now, the third thing and final thing I wanted to share with you today. So that was the second. You know what the first was. The third thing and the final thing I want to share with you today is based on moving averages. You see, the 20-period moving average during this trend is not your relevant moving average. That's not the moving average you should be using. You should be using a tighter moving average. There's too much space here. Now you want space, you just don't want a lot of space. Now, what's one of the key ways for you to determine what moving average is likely the one? The pullbacks. See? So you see these pullbacks here and then the rallies. Now, if we judge that, we can try 13. And boom, that's the moving average. You don't want it obnoxiously on the price like that. Give the stock some breathing room, but you don't want a tremendous amount of space either. And boom, there you go. Now, this means you will need 1 to 2 pullbacks first, which is great because you're not supposed to be using moving averages until the play is maturing. All right. Your play is not mature here. It hasn't even gone past bar 1. You can start now. It's more mature. You see? 13. Now, if you want to leave something in, let's use this as our trailing stop. Boom. Here's another color change. and another confirmation of the 13 and out. Not a bad trade, right? So it can go something like this. Entry, stop out, re-entry, new stop, add color change, new high, take some off. The baby needs new shoes. Leave some in for the future. Move to moving average 13. Add again here. Stop. Continue with the 13. Out. Go to the beach. All right. So you got shoes for the baby and you got lunch on the beach. And that's all we want, guys. We want shoes for the babies. The baby needs new shoes. And we want dinner or lunch on the beach. And there you go. And that's your morning. All right. If you're in Colorado, you're gonna have some type of amazing breakfast with mimosas. Champagne, my friend, champagne. All right. Okay, now some people want me to take care. So those are three things, guys. It took me 27 minutes, let's say 25 minutes, to give you these three things. And let me just tell you this, that 25 minutes can have an effect on the rest of your life. That's crazy. That's how powerful each one of these things is. The rest of your trading life. It's wild. All right. Now, someone wanted me to talk about Apple. Somebody want me to take a look at Apple. We will do that. I'm assuming back at the open. And Apple was a play that I did play today. So, okay. Thank you, Arthur. The only person you've heard tell these things. Yeah. Well, there's not many people in the industry with 40 years under their belt either. So most of the people I see on YouTube teaching people how to trade are like 22-year-olds. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of experience there. What do you want me to look at about Apple? So yeah, I'm assuming that the person is saying, well, Apple opens in the perfect location and we don't get much follow through. Well, I wouldn't expect much follow through in Apple. So what I did, guys, is I bought right here. Remember I told you sometimes the tails can get in the way? I bought right there. Okay. Stop here. And I took profits fast. Now, my traders who are with me in the morning, they know we're in a fast taking profit environment because it's late August, early September, the worst time for follow through. Not that you can't find stocks that follow through. We just looked at two. But generally speaking, that's right, Michael, you're not going to have a lot of follow through in this period of time. In addition to that, let's grab your FAB4 and see what you're dealing with. You see? Wide. So from a wide FAB4, even if you get some initial move, the odds of a breakdown are higher. All right. Your best flow comes from narrow. Your best flow, look at the narrowness. Comes from narrow, not wide. All right. Next. Okay. MU was next. Okay. MU, nice. So here's our FAB4. Okay, not wide. Good. We don't open down here. So that's cool. We don't open exactly there, but still, this is good enough. All right. Starts to go red, red, red. Boom. Get in that. Stop. All right. That first bar gets real nice and solid. Where's the halfway? Right there. It's like magic. Bounces back up. Boing. Bam. So really, literally what this thing did was drop like this. If you look, you have to start developing the ability to look between the bars. So look at what's happened here. This moved just like this. Let me show you what happened. We did this. We drop. We rally. And we drop. Basically again, with a little wrinkle in there. Oh. Okay. This comes back up. All right, now you pass the halfway mark. You see that? Of this one. Since you passed the halfway mark, now the odds of a new low are smaller. No new low. Color change. We go past the halfway mark here. Odds of a new low, again. Color change, and boom. Is what I just did there understood? Clear? Crystal. Arthur says it's not so clear at 6:30 a.m. Well, you know, some good Colombian coffee might help there. All right. AMD. Okay. Nice. Okay. All right. Let's just try to gain some clarity here. Uh-oh. Boom, boom, boom. Beach time, breakfast time, lunch time, dinner time, wherever you are in the world. Next. Didn't it land? Didn't it land? Is that what we want to cover next? Disneyland, didn't it land? That's up. Where are you going to take your profits on this trade? Didn't it land? Remember that? Remember the Disney campaign years ago? That? Where are you now that you've won the Super Bowl? Where are you going? I'm going to Disneyland. All right, so let's go to Disneyland, guys. All right. I know I'm silly. I know. You don't have to tell me. All right. That used to crack me up when I was a kid. That was when I was a kid. All right. Uh, guys, sometimes you can love too much. This is true. You can love too hard. You can love too much. A mother who loves a son too much can prevent true manhood from developing. A woman who loves a man too much can that can lead to some rights being violated in a way. You can have too much of anything and turn some of the best things in life to being not so great. Sometimes your bars are just too big. Sometimes the move is too big and you got to change your rules. So I could see some people without the proper experience getting into this bar and being surprised as to why there's not that much follow through, aside from the fact that we're late August, early September, no follow through is the norm. But check this out. I want you to take, let's take, let me pick one here. Let's take, now in this case, I'm not going to eliminate the tail. I'm going to fill it in. And if you're curious as to why I'm doing that, after I explain to you, I will explain to you, but it shouldn't be too necessary. So here is the first bar. That's what the first bar did. It came off the high a little bit, but that's what it did now, right? Now, I want you to take this bar. Let's take this bar, all right? How many of these make up this whole bar? What would you say? Hmm? Maybe I don't know if I drew those too small, but let's do them a little bit bigger. So let's say, yeah, let's say 4 to 5. And then let's add this one. So let's do the boxes. So let's number them. And let's go over what I teach you to do. I teach you to buy right after or sometimes right into the first one, right? Isn't that my teaching? Yes? Don't I teach you that? I teach you sometimes that you can add on the second one. All right? And I teach you to sell on how many pushes? Two, two, three. One, two, three. Does this bring this into greater clarity as to why you can have a bar that's really multiple bars? So your move is almost already complete. Does it drive the point home? Okay, let's just do it this way. We can get to this price differently. One bar or like that. Same price achieved. All right. We want size and power, but not too much. Another way of looking at this is you've got a gun. All right. This gun has 6 bullets. If you shoot 1, 2, 3, 4 of the bullets in the first bar, you don't have many more bullets to cause additional movement. So I explain it in a variety of different ways because each metaphor or each example hits home differently for different people. So all my Texans down here, who from Texas? All my gun wielding Texans understand the last one. Shoot that thing. Shoot that thing. Kill that thing. All right. Well, it's like, can't translate that one. Yeah, so Christian says, yeah, we can interpret big bars as multiple bars, right? Buy that thing, ride that thing, sell that thing, kill that thing. Anyway, guys, so these are concepts that what are you supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be collecting these. You're supposed to be stacking these on top of each other. You're supposed to never let these concepts go. Do you understand? You're not supposed to be coming here every time we have a lesson as a blank slate. You forgot the last one. You forgot what we talked about the last time. And you just, yeah, it was nice at the time. It's already faded for you. You're back to ground zero and you come for another charge here. And if you keep going back to ground zero and you don't build upon lesson, session after session, lesson after lesson, concept after concept, like a freaking ladder where you come back higher every time up the ladder of progress. If you keep going back down to the bottom of the ladder, by the time you get to me again, you're wasting your time. So build, collect, hoard these things. And I promise you, after a certain period of time, all these little things, right? These things come together like this. Let me show you. First, they just look like individual lines. Let me see if I can get this. First, they look like individual lines like this. Okay, Oliver gave me that. All right. Oliver gave me this too. That's interesting. So he gave me a line and a circle, a dot. Wait a minute, he gave me a longer line here. That's interesting. On this session, he gave me this. And then he gave me this in this session. Right? That's interesting. He gave me another line here and another line there. He gave me this one, and that one, this one, and that one, that one, and that one, and this one, and this one. And he gave me a line that ran through the whole thing. Then he started giving me this line, this line, that one, that one, that one, that one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. This one, this one, this one, that one. All of a sudden, it starts to look like something. It's not just a bunch of lines. Whoa. But it takes, that's an NFT. Yeah, NFT that thing. NFT that thing. The point is that it takes time for the picture to start coming together. You know, you get the pieces first. We covered 3 pieces today. You got 3 lines. Another session, we might cover 1 or 2, whatever. But over time, they start to come together and start to form a whole. And you start to see balance. You start to see something that morphs into a whole. All right. And yeah, and this is, you walk this way into the sunset. And I live way over here. See, I'm waiting for you. Come to Poppy. All right, guys, I love you to death. I will see you next time. Enjoy your extended weekend here, guys. The market is closed on Monday, Labor Day holiday in the United States. You have an extended weekend. The market starts to get a little bit different as we get into the latter part of next week. You're going to feel a different quality. You're going to see a different quality to the way the market trades. We'll be back to the market's regular self, and we'll be entering the best part of the year. All right, guys, love you to death. Ciao for now. Boom. buy that thing, ride that thing, sell that thing.